Yeah, back once again with another serious conversation. Over the last couple of days, I've been catching up with Dr. Umar Johnson, watching some of his more recent interviews and podcasts. And I got to give a shout out to Dr. Umar Johnson, man. Yo, he's strong as hell. That brother's strong, man. To continue this fight, to fight for people who won't fight for themselves. Um, I'm surprised Dr. Umar Johnson hasn't given up by now. With all that hate campaign, all these jealous ass, bootlicking, Uncle Tom tap dancing coon Negro trying to put dirt up on his name. Everybody's talking about that. He's a scammer. He's stealing people money. He's not really building a school. I mean, they were calling up to his university. He even had to go to court because of jealous ass coon. Snow bunny loving coons. Man, Dr. Umar Johnson, man, he's strong. I don't think I would be able to make it straight up. Man, I probably would have given up by now if I was Dr. Umar Johnson. Then on top of that, come to find out, I mean, then he got a whole lot of these Negroes going off to the FDMG Academy, doing live streams, taking pictures, talking about, oh, the buildings are garbage. And, some Uncle Tom coon threw a brick through the window. Like they doing everything to try to come at that brother, man. I don't understand how Dr. Umar Johnson hasn't just said, fuck black people. Not all black people, because he has a lot of support from black people. I ain't talking about those of us who, are in line and we see the vision and we understand that his idea of, school for black children is something that is needed from our people. I mean, for our people. But now you got these jealous, self-hating Uncle Tom coons constantly trying to tear the brother down, vandalizing the school, threw a brick through the window after they had just spent money, donation money, to put those glass windows up. Dr. Umar Johnson had to, put the boards back up at one point in time. 'Cause, windows are very, very expensive. But you got these these Muppets, these puppets of white supremacy. These Candace Owenses, these Jesse Lee Petersons, Larry Elders, Anton Daniels, wherever the hell his name is, the Leon Honors, these Uncle Tom, butter biscuit loving, tap dancing coons that's trying to destroy the only black man. So I don't know Dr. Umar Johnson personally. It's not about him personally. It's about his message, what he stands for, his vision, and his fight. You got all these Negro pens trying to tear this brother down, trying to demonize him, um, take away his credibility. And he's still standing strong. Whew, man, being a head figure in a freedom fight for black people can get you killed, can get you assassinated. Let's look at what happened to Dr. King. Let's look at what happened to Malcolm X. Have very, very powerful voices. What happened to those brothers? White America. Remember the movie Malcolm X? When the Ku Klux Klan um, murdered Malcolm X's father. Late night, they burnt a cross up in his yard. Came in, was trying to bust in. And remember, Malcolm X's father bust shots at the fucking Ku Klux Klan. And remember the Spike Lee movie, he was talking about that Garvey preacher. Just because he was preaching Garveyism. They burnt the cross up in Malcolm X's parents' yard. So he fired back and ran the Ku Klux Klan off. Remember the end result, though. They placed Malcolm's father, Ku Klux Klan caught him, placed him up on a train track. Placed him, wow, man, placed him on a train track. And you know the rest, if you ever seen the movie Malcolm X. Split the brother into two pieces, man. Tied him up and placed him up on a train track. They wanted to send out a message. The strongest of our people, the people who fight for us, they will eliminate them because they can't have no opposition. Look at what they did to Chairman Fred Hampton Sr. of the original Black Panther Party. Gun the brother down, put bullets. I mean, man, the Chicago Police Department, man, they shot that apartment up and then lied on the police reports, making false statements that the Panthers opened fire first. Fred Hampton Sr. was laying in bed late at night, and they riddled that house up with bullets. By the grace of God, his queen survived. She was pregnant at that time with Fred Hampton Jr. So they're gonna, I'm saying this, there's a reason that I'm saying this. Everybody that was genuine and tried to fight for Black liberation, they took them out. They killed Fred Hampton Sr. Almost shot his queen who was pregnant with Fred Hampton Jr. They took out Dr. King who was fighting for, rights because he was about to do a march on Washington or something like that. I'm not like the most educated when it comes to all these things. I mean, I could do a live stream and really, really show facts. Killed Dr. King. I know the FBI and CIA had something to do with the death of Malcolm. I mean, they had black people like agents. They had agents up in the Nation of Islam. They had plants. They had planet people up in the Nation of Islam to work for them. Kill them. Even if we go to Africa, we could go to South Africa, West Africa. Look at what they did to Burkina Faso. Had the French. I mean France. They didn't. They didn't want the message from Thomas Sankara to get out. So they had him killed. They sent the agent, Blair Composo or some shit like that. Sent the agent to set up Thomas Sankara. They had him killed. They had Patrice Lumumba killed. A plant, Mobutu Sese Seko, who was working for the best interests of European, um, what do you call it? European interests. Yeah. He was set up by an agent. Malcolm was set up by an agent. Dr. King was set up by an agent. I don't understand. And will Dr. Umar Johnson be next? Because he's preaching something that will totally destroy this system of injustice that black people face. I don't understand why he hasn't just given up. He's putting his life on the line. And what thanks does he get from blacks? They're hating on him, trying to discredit him. They tried to get Dr. Umar Johnson put in prison, but he represented himself well up in court. Some Negro peeing through a brick through the FDMG Academy window. Is it worth it? Fighting for people who don't fight for you. Looking at people as brothers and sisters who are snakes up in the grass. She always talked about wolves in sheep's clothing. So you have a Negro king that will come amongst the sheep. I mean, he's working for the best interests of racism and white supremacy, but then he'll come amongst, those who are, the sheep that are following their black shepherd, who are righteous and, trying, they're moving and doing what the flock needs. But then you will have a wolf that will put on the clothes of a sheep and pretend to be a brother, pretend to be a sister. With all that being said, though, that's why I say all skin folk ain't kinfolk. Because some of these people that y'all calling brothers, look at Dr. King called Jesse Jackson a brother. Malcolm called certain people from the NOI brothers. Patrice Lumumba thought Mobutu Sese Seko was his brother. Thomas Sankara thought Blaise Compaoré, or however you pronounce his name, was his brother. But they turned out to be wolves in sheep's clothing. Oh yeah, also one more. Fred Hampton Sr. thought, because Fred Hampton Sr. was on that old brother, sister. Yeah, brother, sister, but that doggone agent provocateur who was working for the government. What was his name? Who was the black agent that set up Fred Hampton? It's in that movie, Judas and the Black Messiah. I'm trying to think, man, because what the William O'Neill? Yes, the only way William O'Neill was ever able to get off into the Chicago chapter of the Black Panther Party is because the brothers, thought that coons, and agent provocateurs, and Negropeans could be trusted. So everybody that I just mentioned, Malcolm killed by a black man, King set up by a black man, Patrice Lumumba set up by a black man, Thomas Sankara set up by a black man, Fred Hampton set up by a black man. Who's going to set up Dr. Umar Johnson? These are your brothers, though, right? Your brothers. Hell no, man. No, 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 sir, no, ma'am. Those are no brothers. Hell nah. Those are fucking agent provocateurs. So I just want Dr. Umar Johnson to understand the FBI is watching him closely. He's speaking. This reminds me of that scene from Malcolm X when the Ku Klux Klan came to his family's house and said, "Man, stop that Garvey preaching." Burnt the cross up in his front lawn because Malcolm's father was preaching, Garveyism, trying to wake black folk up. So, Dr. Umar Johnson, man, be careful. You got agents, you got snakes that are in the midst, right up in your face, but they working for those people because this was, up in, man, the FBI, J. Edgar Hoover, and all that. Yeah, they never want to see the stop of the rise of a black messiah. But Dr. Umar Johnson, man, the CIA, the FBI, they will go to the extent so you do not gain traction. Be careful, man. White supremacy will be destroyed if black people became empowered. We ain't talking about it. Black people individually becoming empowered. We mean black people collectively gaining power. White supremacy would crumble. So you're fighting for that. I wish you nothing but luck. Maybe you will re-educate the black boys and create a new generation of brothers and sisters, and we could go back to how we used to be when black people stuck together. I'm out. Peace.